Have you ever asked an AI for help, only to get answers that miss the mark? You're not alone. AI tools are powerful, but they aren't mind readers. They follow instructions, exactly as written. If your instructions are unclear, the AI will guess, and you'll waste time. But when you communicate precisely, you unlock the AI's full potential. Today, we'll explore prompt engineering, the art of asking the right question in the right way, so you get useful, trustworthy answers. You don't need to be a coder. You just need to be clear and specific. Think of an AI like a brilliant librarian. It can pull information from an enormous collection, but it doesn't know you or your intent. A vague prompt yields generic, often irrelevant results. A precise prompt tells the AI who you are, what you need, and why. This clarity acts as a filter, cutting through the noise and delivering exactly what you want. Before typing, ask yourself 3 simple questions. Who am I? What do I need? Why does it matter? Effective prompts rely on 3 elements. Assign the AI a role or persona. Roles like teacher, travel planner, or journalist help the model adopt the right tone, depth, and focus. Tell AI the task. Be explicit about what you want. Explain, summarize, list, compare, or ask quiz questions. Tell AI the constraints or boundaries. These include audience, output format, tone, or length. If you need 3 bullet points, say so. If you want a friendly tone, state it. A strong prompt weaves these pieces together. Act as a 5th-grade teacher and explain photosynthesis to a 10-year-old in 3 sentences. Compare that to, tell me about photosynthesis. The first gives you a concise, child-friendly answer. The second may overwhelm you with jargon. Writing one perfect prompt is rare. Prompt engineering is an iterative process. Start with a reasonable prompt, examine the AI's response, and refine. Each iteration can add clarity, context, or constraints. Review the response, adjust for audience or format, and test again. This process, prompt changing, is how you transform a rough draft into a laser-sharp query. If the AI misunderstands, adjust the prompt rather than assuming the AI is wrong. I was going back to Disney for 2 days, and I told them some of the things I wanted to do on day 1 and some of the things I wanted to do on day 2. I gave it this prompt, followed by the things I wanted to do. I am going to Disney World. These are some of the things I want to do. Please plan my days starting around 1 p.m. each day. Gemini was actually the worst. It gave me a schedule that was totally unusable and told me that I could only go to 2 of the parks on my list for day 2, which was wrong and ignored some of my must-do events. Claude got me to do everything, but was a little vague, and in some cases, had me walking back and forth in various parks, which was a bit annoying. Since I reran my prompts a few days ago, I had ChatGPT 5, which took over 6 minutes, but it understood some serious issues. It knew I had an annual pass, so I made reservations at certain parks because of the way annual pass works and some of the things I wanted to do. It actually came up with a totally workable schedule with what I normally would have called an incomplete prompt. It also told me what reservations for certain rides to make ahead of time. Both Claude and ChatGPT even told me how I should travel from between parks and how long it should take. When I asked again with a little more detail, you are an expert Disney guide, and you understand the weather in August and that your clients don't want to do a lot of unnecessary walking back and forth. They want a stress-free day, but they want to do everything on their list. These are some of the things they want to do. Please plan their days starting around 1 p.m. each day. The results changed a little. Gemini was still the least useful, basically stating that the list was a little too ambitious. I guess I will find out in a few weeks. Claude looked up the weather and gave a schedule that included going into air-conditioned buildings and rides in addition to the attractions that I wanted to do, and included a dinner break. At the end of the schedule, it also gave heat management suggestions. ChatGPT took 6 minutes again and came up with a fairly detailed, workable schedule, but skipped the fireworks one of the nights so that I can do more rides. It also told me what rides I should purchase tickets ahead of time to reduce wait times. It was interesting that Claude probably gave the most detailed, thoughtful, and complete schedule, but ChatGPT understood a lot of nuances around my plans. Specifically, it was understood that one of the days I was going to a special event at one of the parks, and normal park strategies don't apply. Since I liked Claude's thoughtfulness and air conditioning considerations, and ChatGPT's understanding of Disney rules, I gave ChatGPT the output from Claude and told it to take the information from Claude and its own schedule and come out with a better schedule. 6 minutes later, ChatGPT came up with the perfect schedule combining the ideas from Claude with the knowledge it had. I will most likely follow this last schedule. One important thing to note, I frequently feed the same question to multiple chatbots and give the answer to the other and ask them to improve it. It is like asking multiple friends for advice. They all have great input, and sometimes if you put their heads together, you get the perfect outcome. When I gave ChatGPT's output to Claude, Claude said, "Looking at this revised plan, I have to say it's significantly better than my original version in several key areas. The human clearly knows Disney World operations very well and has corrected some important factual errors I made." It then gave me details of all the ways the new plan was better than the plan it originally gave me. The bottom line is AI cannot read your mind. Apparently ChatGPT figured out what I was asking for and Claude didn't. If you look at the list of what ChatGPT said, I needed to be as detailed as possible with my request. List all the constraints and what my acceptance criteria was. Without the precise prompt, we had to do a bit of back and forth. Even with the basics, common missteps can derail your results. Don't be too vague. Plan a vacation leaves the AI guessing. Instead, add details. Act as a Disney travel planner and create a 3-day itinerary for 2 adults and 2 kids, one of whom loves Marvel. Don't skip context. Without context, the AI may aim at the wrong audience. Explain AI might produce dense jargon. Instead, specify your audience and tone. Don't overcomplicate. Overly long or ambiguous prompts confuse the AI. Break tasks into smaller steps and use clear language. If your prompt confuses you when you read it back, it will confuse the AI. One question I frequently ask AI to this day is, how can I improve the prompt? In addition, if I had a back-and-forth session, I would ask, how could I have improved my original prompt to have got this answer without all the back and forth? Also, check your personalization or customization you may have configured for your AI. For example, I had configured Gemini to get me step-by-step instructions 1 step at a time, so it initially didn't get me a comprehensive schedule because that is not something I normally want. Context tells the AI who the response is for and what details matter. Without it, the AI makes assumptions that may not match your needs. When you add context, audience, purpose, and details, the AI tailors its answer. Think of context as the AI's GPS. It guides the model to the right destination. Let's apply this to a real-world problem. Sam, a real estate photographer, needs to pass the FAA Part 107 drone exam. He's nervous about weather and runway topics. A vague prompt like, "Help me study for the drone test," is too broad. Instead, create a targeted prompt. "You are an FAA-certified drone instructor helping me prepare for the Part 107 exam. Focus only on weather and runway topics. Ask multiple-choice questions one at a time, each with 4 answer choices, A through D. After I answer, tell me if I'm correct and, if not, explain the right answer using simple examples. Then ask the next question automatically. If I say pause, wait for instructions. If I say stop, end the quiz." This sets the role, defines the task, and adds constraints. The result is a personalized, realistic practice session that mirrors the exam. Congratulations! You now know the basics of prompt engineering. Start with role, task, and constraints. Provide context. Iterate until you get what you need. Avoid vagueness, missing context, and overcomplication. One hint for ChatGPT 5. Sometimes ChatGPT 5 uses the faster model. If you think your request is not suitable for a quick answer, use the phrase such as "think harder" to get ChatGPT 5 to use a thinking model instead of a faster answer model. Follow these techniques, and you and your AI assistant should be on the same page, and you will be happier with the results. In the next episode, We'll cover projects and gems so your AI can handle longer, repeatable tasks. Until then, keep prompting with purpose.